At this time, we'll call to order the Finance Personnel Committee September 9th, 2025 meeting. Amy, roll please.
Alderperson Pere.
Here.
Alderperson Gantz.
Here.
Mayor Boyd.
I'm here.
Alderperson Nelson.
Here.
And Alderperson Kundinger.
I'm here too.
All right, everyone's here. Item 2, approval of minutes of the August 12th, 2025 regular meeting of the Finance Personnel Committee. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson P-Rock. Discussion or comments? We have none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 3, public comment on matters not on the agenda. Comments made during the public comment period shall pertain only to matters under the jurisdiction of the Finance and Personnel Committee. Seeing there's no one here in person, no offense to you two, because you really are here in person. And out there, it's Crystal and Pam. But I don't see anyone that's out there virtually as well. So this is the only time, I'll just say this. Any public comment on matters not on the agenda, if you have something, just state it now. No. Item 4, consideration and possible action on approval of the Paramedic Reimbursement Program held over from the August 12th, 2025 meeting.
It's a motion to hold to October 14th.
What?
We are requesting a motion to hold to October 14th on this one. So we're holding again.
Okay, I'll make it. You need a motion on that?
Yes, a motion to.
I'll make a motion to hold this over until October 14th.
Yes,
correct.
All right, this is going to keep going like every single month or what? A little game we're playing here?
We're working on it.
And why are we doing that?
So
Well-
we have some edits that we've agreed to, but the union needs an opportunity to be able to review the revised agreement, approve it, and then it'll come to finance for approval.
Okay.
So
Who wants to second that?
Me.
Motion
I'll
by me,
second.
seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion or comments? We're holding it over, so there should be none. That said, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 5, consideration and possible action on grant funds awarded to Pere Health Department through the Wisconsin DPH Consolidated Contract number 155015 and 15580 in the amount of $28,856.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Gantz, seconded by Alderperson Nelson. Where's his name tag?
There.
Don't have it. Huh. Discussion or comments? If you have any, Crystal's here and we're happy to answer any questions you might have.
On it.
All right, looks like we have none, so sorry. That said, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thanks, Crystal. Item 6, consideration and possible action on the consent to sublease for colocation at the City of De Pere Tower site located at 400 Lewis Street. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Any discussion or comments? Looks like we have none. That said, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 7, consideration and possible action on redevelopment agreement terms with 9th Street Development LLC for the redevelopment of 114 South 9th Street into a multi-tenant commercial development, parcel WD D0200-4. Dan, you want to tell us about this?
Sure, I guess. No, I'll get, as it loads up here, I'll kind of give you the overview.
Oh, he was getting ready.
Is your mic on?
It's on.
Okay.
I don't know why my PowerPoint's not loading up here, but I will. Hold on one second. It may not like it because I may have it open here. Let's try that again.
You're multitasking.
That is probably one of my biggest uh-ohs, I guess you would say. My brain is going in 14 directions at all times, and that's the nature of what it is. But, all right, so what we're talking about here tonight is a development term sheet review for a rental commercial tenant space along 9th Street. So if you want to get some familiarity with the area we're talking about here tonight, the former travel agency on 9th Street across from the post office. And so that's the area that we're talking about. That was removed several months, over a year ago, but it's been in the works for a redevelopment since that time. For the past few years, we've been working with the landowner to figure out what to truly do with that property, and it went through a couple different revisions. May have been a Caribou Coffee plan for that location at one point, and a couple other things that have happened over time. Since that time, though, however, we've adopted a brand new zoning code, which has sort of changed how they've even actually implemented their plans for the site. So there's been some challenges and some changes to the redevelopment concept that's been presented to us. But at this time, what's included in your packet is a multi-tenant space that is a more or less trying to use the shape of the lot to the best of its ability, while at the same time meeting our zoning code requirements. So what I mean by that is the MX3 zoning district change from the previous zoning district requires the buildings to be brought to the street, making sure that they have a street presence. And when you have a multi-tenant building or a lot that is really deep, it can really sort of become a challenge to do that. And so as a result, we've been working with them on a slew of items that are to help meet the zoning code requirements and kind of flex a little bit, but still try to meet the intent of the ordinance as much as possible within the purview that the staff has to work through it. But that's where we are today. Is some of those changes have caused I guess you would say, a changeover from what the previous developer had expected from a cost perspective, and so that was quantified at about a $350,000 change. Some of those changes are moving the stormwater pond to the back, requiring a lot of fill to be moved around to be able to do that one. We required rescreening walls. We required knee walls that kind of, again, brought the building to the street as much as possible. There is a large utility easement out front of that building, so it can't truly be on the sidewalk. It's actually a new water easement, not even our easement, but a new water line for the sanitary sewer. But all of those things that our code is required, again related to parking islands, and all the stuff that's different from when they first brought this project forward, is caused about a $350,000 gap. Staff has reviewed their development pro forma in great detail and actually ran our own numbers at the same time, and I want to kind of walk through that here tonight. So there's the area in front of you. This is the 2023 air photo, so the building is still in that picture, but at this point it is no longer there. And they are working towards the solution that we're going to talk about here tonight. So here's just examples to what we'll be talking about here tonight. 9th Street view is the third one down. It's a little hard to tell in this picture, but a little bit larger in your packet. I can go to the packet if we need to. But normally you'd have, again, that building to the street, but there is a 30-foot sanitary sewer easement that's there that can't be brought. So we said, how close can we get it? Right to that easement line. Knee wall, retaining wall, again, to kind of build that frontage up so that, again, it brings that building to the street as much as possible. And then from a materials and choices standpoint, meet the code requirements of that. Large, it's shown in green here, but as we go to the site plan, this is the large area for stormwater management, which was previously closer to the front. And again, more piping, more requirements, more dredging, or more grading, and more removal of soil to make sure that stormwater works. As a result of fire lane access, you have the only place that really the storage of refuse could be is on this street side, which does not meet code requirements. So we required that wall to be constructed almost to match the existing building type. And so again, we have larger requirements, and we normally see that we have a screening wall that matches the building. All those things added up to the additional cost that they wouldn't have had to bore had the building been able to be set back like it would have been prior to 2023. So all that being said, is we ran through our standard process when it comes to a rental income property. We evaluated the in-depth analysis of their pro forma. I applaud the developer for providing me with the information the first time, and I didn't have to go back asking for more information. It's probably the first time that's happened since I've been here. So they did a really thorough analysis, and I ran it through our pro forma to evaluate return on equity, return on cost or yield cost, and then also the internal rate of return. There's 11 units there. They have a 9% stabilization or 9% vacancy stabilized, and what that means is about 1 unit will be vacant throughout the entire year as those 11 units kind of churn. Not unexpected at that point when you have that many units, but if you don't have more than 11, or if you don't have a large number like you do in a apartment rental situation, 1 unit sitting vacant for 6 months and another unit becoming vacant for 6 months can really add up kind of quickly. And so as a result, 9% vacancy rate, while normally may be considered a little high in a rental situation, in a commercial space with a limited number of units, it's to be expected. Assumptions moving forward are lease rates and 3% annual increases and expenditures to kind of mirror that with that 3%. Mortgage, private mortgage amount that you see there, surface parking, sale at our 10-year sale assumption, we're at an 8% cap rate, which is what we're roughly seeing from an appraisal standpoint for the commercials in the Main Avenue market area. So that's to be expected. And then a property appreciation rate annually about 3% and tax appreciation or depreciation about 2%. So those are our assumptions that we've made. It's kind of similar to what we've done for other projects. But in the end result of that one, we have a gap that is justified, that $350,000 gap. They are in an internal rate of return of, even with it, of a 12 to 13%, which is a little low from what I would expect, but in their market, that's okay. Return on equity of 8 to 9%, initial year stabilized. If I was to run that as a 10-year, it would exceed that. But a stress test would be to take away all the incentives. What would that leave you with? And it's about a 10 to 11% IRR or return on equity of about 6.1%. So again, the but-for test is being met there. So with that, staff is going to be recommending approval subject to some conditions. This one doesn't have as many nearly as some of our others because it's a fairly straightforward cash incentive, cash grant upon certificate of occupancy with a guaranteed revenue amount on an annual basis. And so that's been included in your packet, which is a guaranteed revenue of about $55,000 annually. And that's roughly based off of a future assessed value of about $4.5 million. But our main focus is the $55,000 annually of revenue to help pay off of our borrowing. And then our component to that one is a grant at the certificate of occupancy and the completion of all site requirements. But we do, whenever we do have an income generating property, we do now add that look back provision, a 10-year look back provision that if the internal rate of return exceeds 20% on that assumption, they would then have to grant money back to us to make it back down to that 20%. Based off of what I'm seeing, the likelihood of that happening is probably pretty low. But if the market does take off, that could be impacted. So with that, staff's recommending approval.
Thank you. Questions, comment? Great to see that lot filled. So
Yeah.
most importantly, that's
Sure.
that's pretty exciting, and it was idle for a very short time. Questions, comments? I mean, Alderperson Conacher.
So just, it seems pretty clear in the memo, but you did say apartment, and I just want to clarify, there's no resident.
No, I was
aspect.
comparing it to our normal
Okay.
apartments.
Okay. Just, I thought that, but I was like, cause
No,
it
I'm
doesn't
just
look like that at
normally
all, but.
when we've done income generating properties, it's always recently been apartments, and we're
Yes.
evaluating that case. This is completely commercial, but I wanted to make
Okay.
the comparison to show you that the vacancy rates are higher here than we would normally see in our normal evaluations previously.
And the renderings here and the ones below of the stacked images, again, it's meant to kind of, extend the shopping of festival and things, but I'm not seeing a visual on how they'll connect.
Right here. This is
So they will be.
Yeah, so this is the access point to ShopGo right through here.
Okay,
So, if
so
you see my mouse.
it is pretty car focused instead of
Yes.
pedestrian.
Yep.
Okay.
We would like to have it be on the street
Festival.
because that would have allowed us to be more pedestrian focused.
Yeah.
But because there is a very deep
Yeah.
new water easement there,
It's festival.
you can't relocate that.
You said Shopco, right? Did you?
Did I say ShopGo?
Yeah.
Festival? I'm sorry, festival.
So one of the men.
Why did I say ShopGo?
Did I say
Is that one of the 14?
That's one of the 14.
We're on side of the river.
Wow, and some of us were like, okay, that sounds really good. I think so. We're up here going because she's got to take this stuff down. So
Correction, festival.
We thought maybe we were building a shop.
oh man, I was on the west side. We went to the east
My
side.
apologies, my apologies.
I'm like, wait, I'm on the wrong side of the
I'll
bridge.
bring it back. So
Thank
there's
you.
no way that we can have a more foot traffic, encourage more foot traffic?
So there is a sidewalk on 9th.
Okay.
That's part of it. There will be, as part of our comments right now, we're evaluating getting that sidewalk across that easement. But again, being a easement that is for new water,
Yeah.
we don't control that easement. And so we're sort of limited in what we can enforce on that easement. And so, yeah, I'd love to have that building closer to the street. It's on the, have it be on the sidewalk and have it be more of it. And we were tried, and it is literally on the easement at this point. So we are at the extent of what we can do.
Well, it's nice that this is the result. That's good compromise.
And it is, the MX3 district is a auto dominant corridor. We are trying to make it not so auto dominant. And a prime example of that one is the North Shore Bank that you saw, which is on the street, again, has sidewalk access. That's a prime example of what we're trying to do with the MX3 district. This one just has site limitations that are outside the control of the zoning code.
Yeah. Folks who live at Rennis will be thrilled. My grandma always was at Walgreens.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm sure of it.
I'm anxious to see what will go in there too. Hopefully it'll complement the residents
Yeah.
in the area.
That said, I'll make a motion to approve the redevelopment agreement terms with Knight Street Development LLC.
Second.
Motion by me, seconded by, boy, that was really close. Alderperson Cunningham, because she asked a lot of questions, so I'm going to give that to you. Other additional questions or comments? All right, looks like we have none. That said, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 8, consideration and possible action on 2025-2026 auditing services agreement with CliftonLarsonAllen LLP. Do you want to give a little, just give a little summary?
Sure. Quick summary.
Thank you.
The last time we went out for an RFP was prior to my arrival, and that was, I believe, a 5-year contract. And that has, as I was going to do my 26 budget, I realized we're not under an agreement for 26. So discussing it with the city manager and city attorney, we all kind of decided, you know what, let's do it, see if they can do a 2-year agreement. We're happy with their services. We'd like to continue. And then we can concentrate on trying to do the ERP, which is our prime focus at this time. So this is their 2-year agreement they came back with. Comparing to what we've been paying the last couple of years, it's may even be slightly less than what we paid this year, but it's very, very close. So they did break out to some of the items that we may or may not need, but some of the services that they have been doing for us. For instance, the Department of Health Services doesn't always require the examination. It depends how much funding we're getting from DHS. With decreased grant amounts, we may or may not need that service. A single audit. When we had ARPA funds, we needed that single audit. Unless we have $1 million worth of federal funding coming in, we're not going to need that audit. So they just kind of broke out those costs for us if needed.
Thank you. To put names with a company, this would be Scott Sternhagen and Elizabeth
McMasters have been, yep.
who show up and give us the overview. Yeah, so just to put those things together. All right.
I'll move to approve. I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson P-Rock, seconded by Alderperson Nelson. Any additional questions or comments? If you guys are happy, we're happy, and we want you to be happy. So, that said, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 9, cash and investments report. Any anomalies, anything out of the ordinary you want to just kind of go over? Or is it pretty much
Nope,
status
we got all of our state aid that came in, well, not all of it, but a good portion of it comes in July. So that was the large increase that we had in our LGIP. But we have since transferred some of that out, so you'll see that for next month.
So that's good news. Hypothetically, if there was not a budget approved, that would have just been on pause, or are they going to the old budget, right? Is that how that works? I mean, obviously the budget was improved.
Yeah, I
was
don't
approved in a
recall. I
timely
think
fashion.
they'd still give us something, but yeah, I think it might fall back to the old amount, so.
Okay,
A lot of this was already pre-designated what we were going to be getting, so.
okay.
This budget did not include increases. I think this might actually have been related to the prior year state budget.
Very good, thank you. Questions from anybody? I'll make a motion to accept and place on file.
Second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson P-Rock. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 10, 2026 budget status discussion. Kim.
Hey, hello everyone. Budget is underway. I would anticipate that we would have kind of the executive budget ready for internal use within the next week. We've had our budget meetings with each department and now working with Pam to combine the requests with the incoming revenue and prep for our work session on October 8th. Globally, just a reminder that with the MSC, we were in a pretty high debt load scenario with the bonding that we did. So that's something we're looking at for next year is related to making sure that we're all good on all of our debt payments and also planning for our big infrastructure projects coming down the pipeline. But our departments did a great job pulling their budgets together, and we are excited to share it with you in October.
Thank you very much. Status update, you can still ask questions if you want, but we're on track, everybody.
Everything is on track.
Looks like they're all on edge too, but it looks
If anyone knows of like an extra 50 million laying around, like we could do really cool things then.
A new alderperson would be able to do that. Matter of fact, challenge accepted.
Probably would be in Hawaii right now.
Well, then maybe we just picked the wrong person.
You are spicy today.
I really am. It's been a long day. It wasn't a very good finish to the day. Thank you very much. Item 11, future agenda items. Does anyone have a future agenda item for finance personnel? All right. Item 12, I will make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We're done. Thanks all.
Thank you.